Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
All right. So, any parts you'd like to get to know better, change your relationship with, or should
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I believe this is a very strong protector.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels to me that I always say she. I could say it, but she makes it more relatable to me. If it's it could kind of becomes more abstract. That's why I say she.
Mm-hmm.
I think the part that she is the exile is probably the same one or similar to part of the one we have been working on.
Yes.
I think we got back to her, but I think this is a protector. And you always tell me that I don't need to give any context because you don't need to know anything. But I think the reason I want to give some context today is more to explicitly set the frame for myself.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you will understand it better, but it feels to me that you will understand it better. But maybe you don't need to understand it. But it's kind of important to me anyway to do it. Yeah.
All right, great.
Okay, so it started. This protector was super. I've known about this protector for a long, long time. It comes up, and I've even talked about her. Or no, I think it. No, it sounds more like an it. I've even talked about it. I think in therapy and even with friends and even, thought about it or her myself. I will probably mix up. But sometimes I will say it and sometimes I will say she. So let's forget about that. But it really reared its head a couple of days ago at an emotional level that I can't remember having felt it.
Okay.
So it has been very much on an analytical level, right? And I've known about it, but it was really, really emotional. So I had a couple of pretty bad days.
Mm-hmm.
So what triggered it was a conversation I had with my ex, and I blew up on him. And I never swear, but I swore. And then I just said, I'm leaving after that. I said, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm leaving. And it just came up. It was no planned. And what he was able to trigger was two things.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same protector, but he was able to trigger this protector in relation to him and also in relation to my really early childhood.
Okay.
So I both became defensive and I was angry. And what this protector has told me since I was tiny is that it's my role to take care of everybody. I didn't have parents, right? I was kind of the parent of my mother. I was the parent of my sister, the parent of my grandmother, the parent of my ex. And but I never was able to do it right. Right? I always failed. I always, in my mind or in my feelings, I always failed and I always screwed up.
Yeah.
I couldn't manage it. So I was always a bad or a horrible daughter, a bad or a horrible sister, bad or a horrible grandchild, and then a bad wife, right?
Yes.
And with him, what I got really angry at was that I've taken care of him so much with money. It's not even funny. And I'm an immigrant. He's American born and bred with lots of friends, family, blah, blah, blah. He just let me do it. But I let myself do it, but he let me do it too. And when we were getting our divorce and we had mediation, he bullied me into a mediation agreement where he paid as little as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many instances. I mean, I could sit there and talk for hours about all these times that I felt, that he was completely unreasonable. But anyway, so that's the picture. I don't need to get more into it.
Okay.
So he triggered that. And that was because of my daughter, because I pay 4/5 of her tuition. I pay all her health insurance, I pay all her therapy, I pay all her blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's ridiculous. But anyway, it's too late for a lawyer now. So know his emotions. What he also triggered was he was triggering, I was triggered. He didn't mean to trigger any of this. He was baffled that I was that I was cursing him and running out the door, because he was talking about my daughter and he was saying maybe my daughter and I had an argument that we had solved or we had resolved. We have gotten to a resolution. And I felt compelled to tell him about it, which I shouldn't have. It was kind of parent to parent. And he got concerned about her fragility after our argument.
Yes.
And I was thrown back. And I catastrophized. So my first thought, what if she kills herself and it's my fault? That's how and do you know where that came from? It came from my grandmother. Because a week or so before she left, my mother was always saying to me and my sister, "You are bad kids. If you don't behave, grandma may have to go away." I was 6 and my sister was 3 or 4, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, she disappears.
Yeah.
So I have deep down felt, even if I can rationalize that it wasn't my fault, I've deep down felt that. And all this was triggered because I started catastrophizing about my daughter, because I do that. I can do that just because of the background I have. If I don't hear, I'm not the kind of parent, I don't nag her about it, but I keep it in. But I do catastrophize a lot.
Okay. About like, what if she kills herself kind of stuff?
What if she kills herself? And then it's my fault.
Yeah.
And I knew, and then I had to defend myself because it came up from deep down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That again, what all this boils down to was that what made me so mad and defensive was that both in relation to him and in relation to my daughter, which I probably should be because she's my daughter, but also in relation to my whole past,
mm-hmm.
I have been supposed to be the one to take care of. And then I always screw up. And then I'm always blamed and I'm always bad.
Okay. So
that's
yeah.
I would like
to
talk to that protector and see where it leads me.
Yeah,
because that is a protector.
Really...
That's not that's an exile behind there. It could be the same.
Absolutely.
One.
Yeah, it sounds like a really strong protector. It sounds like one that's been with you for a long time.
Yeah.
And it comes up in just about every relationship. It sounds like you take that role, or this protector urges you to take that role.
Yeah, and I can't need anything. So I can't get any help, you know. And then I screw up, it becomes my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. So the part that says it's my role to take care of everyone, is it the same part that says I always fail at being a daughter, being a wife? Does it feel like another part?
Okay, so I think the way it works is that in my mind, starting when I was little, I was both told about other people's fragility, and I internalized that. So I may not answer the question, but and then it became my burden, a burden that I really didn't want to have, but there was no way out of. And in executing that burden, either because I didn't execute it well, or because inside myself I didn't want to execute it, so I didn't do what I believe, what that belief system thought I should do.
Right.
So so whether I didn't do it well but had good intentions and wanted to be the parent, or if inside myself I said I don't want to do this and I withdrew, and then somebody got angry with me or criticized me. It's a little convoluted, but I think it was the messages I got that made me feel that I had screwed up. Yeah. Okay. I'm not, I'm not totally clear about all of this in this moment.
We will go to the source then and find out from the parts that are that must have more insight around it, because they're the ones that are so activated around it.
Oh gosh, I was so activated. But there was no way. So just for digression, everything go there. There was this tiny part of me said, I should apologize. But then I said, I can't apologize because I meant everything I said. I really meant it. So going to him, I mean, only this thing that happened 2 days ago, and say, I'm sorry. I'm still angry. I'm still angry inside. So I felt that it. Anyway, that was just the question. Let's go to the source.
Let's go to the source. All right, great. So the caretaker.
Yeah, the caretaker.
It comes up, and how do you notice it when it comes up? How do you notice it in or around your body?
I don't know exactly where it sits. It's almost like it sits in my whole torso. But it's what it does is that what I think it does, what it feels like it does, is that it the voice that comes is that there is no space for me. Like it's like I am being pushed into a corner and nobody sees me. And then I feel this hopelessness, or it's the same thing, that everything will be taken away from me.
Right. Okay. And so this caretaker part comes up to try to make sure that doesn't happen.
No, it's when that care. Okay, so, I'm just trying to think back to something that must have been a very No, that's not how it works. Oh.
Let's find out from the caretaker. Yeah. So you've noticed it in or around your torso.
Yes.
How are you feeling towards the caretaker?
Okay. I don't like it.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
I don't like this caretaker.
Mm-hmm. Because it puts you in these situations.
Because the caretaker sends the message that what I want and need doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's what other people want and need that matters. And dwelling on my own want and need is selfish, horrible.
Right. Okay. So this part of you that really doesn't like this caretaker, see if you can ask that part for some space so that you can get to know the caretaker and maybe you can help the caretaker relax.
Okay, so I think the part is saying, okay, it's not happy about it.
Yeah.
Now it's saying it's okay. I can feel it's kind of, yes, it's like it's not that generous, go and do it, but it's kind of saying, okay,
Okay, we'll take it. Thank that part.
Thank you.
Yeah, and now how are you feeling towards the caretaker?
I mean, it was a question that popped into my mind, and its question just was, who are you?
Perfect. Let the caretaker know that you'd like to know it better.
Yeah, who are
And invite
you?
it. Yeah, invite it to come tell you who you are, who it is. Tell it. It can tell you anything it wants you to know about it.
Seems to be telling me that well, it's telling me that it doesn't feel safe.
Okay.
And it's telling me it doesn't feel safe because there is no one it can trust and no one that it believes will help it.
Yeah.
Nobody that will support it.
Yeah. And how is this part noticing you? Is it able to get a good look at you? And does it feel like you're in that basket of people that it can't trust?
I'm not sure.
Maybe just invite it to notice you.
Do you trust me?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I don't think it trusts me.
Okay. That's okay.
I think it's okay.
You think what's okay?
Okay, so what it seems to be saying that first of all, it has to take care of everybody around me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is all I have. So
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't do that, they will all collapse.
Yeah. Yeah, it really cares about those relationships.
But it also says that it has to protect me from paying attention to myself. Is that right? Because if I can deflect and have my antennas up for everybody else, and I'm not sure where this is going. I'm just trying to, I'm haltingly following. It's something that seems to be coming, but not.
If you're always have your antenna out for other people, then you won't experience as much of the looking inward and Is that what it's saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's saying.
Okay.
And then I won't. Okay, here is where it doesn't trust me. Because if I look in and and either see or try to feel into what I want and need,
then you might.
I wouldn't know how to handle it.
Right. Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Let the part know that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Both of those things, that your relationships are really important, that people do need you to whatever degree, and that...
No, that's not true. My okay, it's not that my relationships are important, but as it's that
it said that they're all you have.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's more that if you go back to when I was little, I think it's more that there was no support around me. And by somehow very in a very imperfect way,
mm-hmm.
taking care of them, yeah, at least I had something. It wasn't what I wanted, because I wanted to be taken care of. So basically, the relationships, that it was more like feeling part of something was important to me, I think, whatever that was. Right. So I kind of, yeah.
And then it's also concerned about you looking inward, finding out what other parts might want or what your other true wants are, and not knowing what to do with that.
It's both that because all this was just, I hadn't gotten any feedback or support on showing that. So all these needs and wants are just a jumble that if I used my so-called relationships judgment on it, all that would be bad because it would be selfish.
Right. Yeah. So this all makes sense to you? You're showing this part that this makes sense to you?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense that that I didn't know what to do with it.
Right. Yeah. And you could ask this part directly, since you've already, met an exile and you think it might be connected. You could ask if it's connected to this exile who's worried about having everything taken away from it.
Yeah, I think it is, because this that exile is holding so tight to something
mm-hmm.
that is hers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we worked with that exile last
but
time,
she doesn't
right?
need, but she's holding on to it, even if she doesn't know if she has to have a right to have it, because she's supposed to take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
She's still holding on to it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know what to do with it. But she's holding on to it because I think her belief is that if she doesn't hold on to it, she'll die.
Yes.
Whatever that is.
Yes. And we met that exile and worked with that exile some last time, but we didn't, but it was only a little, right? Because that exile wanted a lot of space.
Yes.
And we were just doing some witnessing and building trust with it. So you could check with this protector how it feels about you continuing to work with the exile as a way to help it out, as a way to help out this protector.
I think it's saying yes, but don't forget about me.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. You could ask it if there's more that it wants to talk with you about now, or if it would feel better to go ahead and shift to that exile.
I think we can shift because the protector is a little confused, almost very confused. It's kind of, Yeah.
You could just let it know you see that confusion. Let it know you're appreciative of its intention to keep you safe and to keep these feelings from overwhelming you. And if it has any concerns, that it can voice them.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it trusts you to go and do this.
Yeah, I believe it does, because I think part of its confusion is it also wants to know more about who it is protecting.
Yeah.
And what the real purpose is of its role.
Okay. Make sure that you're getting that directly from it. Because I hear you saying, I think it's this way, I believe it's this way. Just check that out with it.
Yeah, it's okay. So the protector doesn't see the exile clearly. It sees the exile through kind of a fog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the exile, the protector is something really menacing and solid.
Right. Yeah. And so that would be our goal, is just to lift that fog and learn more about the exile and help it in whatever way we can.
Because the exile doesn't want to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. It does not want to take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
The exile wants to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also very mistrustful.
Yes.
Because it doesn't think anyone can take care of it without taking everything away.
Right. Are you ready to go meet that exile again and listen to it some more?
Yeah.
Okay. You can thank the caretaker.
Thank you. Thank you, caretaker.
And are you able to get back to that place with that exile and meet it again? See what you notice about it.
The exile is almost where I left it. It feels
in that
like
space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in kind of it has more space.
Right. Right.
It is so it's so torn between the longing just to fall and be taken care of. I mean falling into something soft and be taken care of. And the fear that if it does that,
things will be taken away.
Things will be taken away, and it will be judged.
And how do you feel towards the exile as you see all that again about it?
I feel very compassionate towards it.
Yeah.
I so wish it didn't have to feel this way.
Yeah. And can you express that to it and show that to it?
So wish it be with it.
Yeah.
Swing your arms if you want, or stretch back on the grass if you want, or if you want to have a temper tantrum, just be whatever you feel like. You feel like.
Yeah, and how does
that fear?
How does she react hearing that from you and seeing that from you?
She's saying yes.
Yeah, she likes that
She
idea.
was stretching out her arms, but then she pulled them back again. She wasn't sure if that was safe.
Tell her she can show you whatever she wants, and that you really want to understand her pain, her beliefs, anything that's been hard for her.
Yeah. One of the core beliefs is that shows herself, it will be taken away.
Yeah.
And another core belief, I think, is she shows herself, she will be punished.
Judged,
punished.
So maybe ask her just to show you more of what that's been like for her to have to live with that.
Hard. So painful and lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she has felt completely desperate because she feels like such in a straitjacket, like she can't move.
Yeah.
And when it gets too tight, then she feels so furious.
Mm-hmm.
And also feeling so misunderstood, so judged.
Yeah. Now, how is it for her to be able to show you these things in this space that you've created with her?
It feels like a small relief in the way that she can kind of breathe a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Do you see how old she is?
I always want to go to 6 because that was when the big thing happened. But not sure if that's just an kind of automatic.
Yeah, you could check with her.
She's saying she's a composite.
Sure.
I think she's saying that at the most painful, she is at the most painful. She is 6 and 9 and 13 and 17.
Okay.
I think. I mean, she's a composite, but part of her is younger.
Younger than 6?
Younger than 6, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've met that part that's younger than 6? You could ask her.
That part I have very little access to because
ask her if she's protecting the younger part.
Yes.
Okay.
Because very few memories there. Very few. I have kind of few scattered memories. I want really good memory, but most of the memories are something bad happened. It wasn't like super bad, but it was kind of a small shock to the system. Like, oh, why?
Yeah. How does she...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't. Okay, so it could very well have been that I was sexually abused when I was really young, but I have no memory of it. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was. So it's but definitely is something that she is protecting.
Yeah. And it's okay if that memory isn't clear.
I remember saying, yeah, though I have I have one memory of it. I have memories of shame.
Yeah.
When I was little, and when I was younger, I have.
Let's stay with her, and whatever her experience is, I think we should focus on, and just if she, if we're asking her if she protects the younger part, and it's a maybe, or she doesn't have good memories or clear memories about that, that's all fine. But I think that just staying with her and learning more about her experience, painful, lonely, desperate, furious, misunderstood,
shameful.
Yeah. We don't have to connect all the dots. We don't have to, build the scrapbook any more than she wants to show you, or she's. So yeah, just let her lead that.
It feels like very early on there was a big void.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel that there was a big void.
Mm-hmm.
And that there was shame and confusion.
Does she feel like you're getting it? Is she feeling more trusting of you, that you understand her burdens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she feel like she's stuck back there, stuck in time?
Yes, she's and I think and she's even saying to me, don't try to tell me what to do.
No, yeah.
Don't give me advice.
No.
Don't have an agenda for me.
Yeah.
But she is stuck back there, and I think well, for many reasons, but she doesn't. Is it mistrust in the world that's keeping her stuck?
Well, it's just the nature of exiles.
Yeah.
So what is it that you or I were about to say that had her concerned that we were going to tell her what to do?
Okay, so she trusts that I feel her pain. Yeah, I would put it that way. She trusts that I feel her pain.
Great.
And she trusts that I have compassion for that and don't want her to be in that pain, and wish that she could be free from it and show herself to the world without the fear. Oh. But there it stops.
It's interesting that I do want to hear what you have to say, but when you said show herself to the world and there it stops. I'm interested in having her show herself to you. And and if there's part of you that's wanting to show her to the world, like, and you know what I mean, that I can see why she might stop there and say, wait, that's not where I want to go.
Okay. I think to her, showing herself to me is part of showing herself to the world.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was just too big a mouthful to say that, show herself to the world.
Yeah.
Let's say show herself to me.
Yeah, just you. See if you can just start with just you. And just let her know that there's no obligation to show herself to the world. There's no obligation for you to change how you act in the world by getting to know her. None of it has to be shared with me. Like, just about you and her.
Okay.
Does she like that idea?
Yeah. I mean, if you can leave it like that, she wants to show me that she loves colors.
Wow. Let her show you that. Just let her show you that. You don't have to share any of it with me.
And she wants to show me that she loves to move. She likes moving her body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just witness that. Just show her that it's safe to show you that without, you're not going to do any, you're not going to give her any advice about it, right?
And she wants to show me that she loves sweets.
Mm-hmm.
She likes ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants to show me that she likes to hug. She loves to hug. She loves to be close.
Yeah. Does it feel right to be close with her now? Check with her. Mm-hmm.
saying that
only share it if you have her permission to share it. Right? She's concerned about what we show the world. Do you want to let her know that you can keep a secret?
saying that she wants to say what she means and not be afraid of being angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of these other parts have been hard on her. Mm-hmm. So you can stay in this space with her as long as you like, or if you'd like to go through some of these other stages, I can let you know what they are, or you can check them with her. Just some of the other kind of unburdening processes.
So why don't we do that?
You would like to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and we'll check them out with her and see if it feels right. So again, the next one could be to kind of ask if she has felt or is feeling like she's stuck in a place in time. Yeah.
She's stuck in. Yes. She's stuck. She's stuck in the past.
Yes. Okay. So now you go back into her time. If it feels right for her and it feels right for you, you go back into that time and be for her the way that she needed somebody. Are you able to do that? Are you able to go back there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I took her out of there.
Okay. Well, just check if there's anything that she wants to see you do with her or for her back there. If there's anyone she wants you to talk to, or just anything she would like to kind of redo with you there.
No, she just wants me to go there.
That's fine. Okay. Go ahead and take her out. Let her know that you'll be taking care of her from now on. She can come be with you. She can come to the present. She can go to a fantasy place. Wherever she'd like to go.
We went to the beach.
Yeah, great. Just tell her she doesn't have to go back to that place.
No.
In the past.
She can see a little house in the distance that we now have on the beach or close to the beach.
Yeah.
We're just on the beach and just rolling around and getting dirty and
That's
eating
great.
sandy
Yes.
ice cream.
Yeah.
Flying a kite.
Yeah.
And there's lots of space.
Right.
All we can see is the sky, sand, sea.
Right. And she can stay in this place with you. Over time you can change places if she wants. And she can you'll be taking care of her.
It's going to have a nice soft bed. Sunny kitchen to eat. Doors that can be opened. In again. But I will go.
Okay. And now you could ask her about where she carries some of those painful memories or beliefs in or around her body. The desperation, the pain of being misunderstood, fear of being judged, the fear that everything will be taken away. Just see if she can show you in her body where she carries that. Might be multiple places.
Yeah, this is.
And then ask her how she would like to give them up. She could give them up to the wind, fire, water, earth, any way that she'd like.
She doesn't want to bury them in this.
Okay.
The road.
Go ahead and tell her to do that and help her out with that. Tell her to do it until it's all out.
I'm not sure if everything is out. It feels pretty empty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fear of things being taken away, fear of being judged, all the painful experiences or memories, feeling of being lonely, desperate, furious, misunderstood. And it's okay if, this can be something that you do again, but while you're here, just take your time.
It's becoming taller. It's growing like a beanstalk.
She is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, something is growing like a beanstalk. If it's her or something else.
Lots more space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Okay. How's she feeling now?
She's feeling joyous.
Yeah. So, another thing you can do is to check back with that protector, that caretaker, or any other protectors that have been in her orbit. And if it feels right, you could invite them to just kind of witness what's going on and just see if any of them would like to maybe update their roles with this new information about your closeness with this exile and how she's doing.
That's caretaker, protector. It warms him what he sees. I'm calling him he.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But he's not ready to give up it.
Yeah, that's fine. And you said that you wouldn't forget that part. So, all parts need unburdening in some ways. So it can be a long negotiation and a fruitful one.
It's almost like it's saying to the little one, who's not so little anymore, that it's not safe not to take care of others. It's not safe for me, not safe for her.
Okay. Well,
he doesn't think it's safe for her not to take care of others. Yeah. But he's more gentle.
Yeah.
He's not such a bully.
Yeah. And you can just let that part know that you intend to be the one that this part goes to, and that it's not this child's job to take care of anyone.
Mm.
And you and the caretaker can work out, those external out in the world relationships. But this part knows what it needs to heal, which is to be at the beach, to have hugs and sweets and colors and movement.
Mm.
And that you can keep it safe there. It doesn't have to be a part of those decisions.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So feel complete for now. Awesome.
Yes, I feel like I can't do anymore.
Okay. Yeah. And you can go back and meet this exile. Well, no longer exile in this place, in this space you've created with her. You can do that anytime.
Yeah, a little beach house. The sun is shining.
A lot of practitioners say to keep doing that, to do that every day for a few weeks. But it's whatever feels right for you in this part. And,
Well, thank you, James.
Thank you. You did great.
Okay.
Have a good rest of your night. Hope to hear from you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.